Welcome back to Pawn Life. Some of you have been asking the Pawn Panda, how do we come up with the loan amounts we give for merchandise? Well, to understand that, first you kind of understand the laws governing each state ordinances over pawn shops. A lot of the state's rules don't want pawn shops to compete with banks. So the bankers have lobbyists go and vote to keep the interest rates high over pawn shops to keep us from competing with them, and that's why there's such high interest, which seems kind of unfair. It's kind of like red line districting in the housing industry and stuff, which is illegal and discriminatory, but it happens. Only way to change that is either become a politician yourself and try to drain the swamp, or get a bunch of people to try to sign petitions and get that rule changed so it's fair for people who have lower incomes and could use a good quick loan for cash for emergencies, you know. Because I mean, pawns are great. They're like, they can be like a credit card. If you keep something in your safe, like a piece of jewelry, or if you have something of value like your guitar, you can always go get a loan on it and get it back when you don't have that credit card to rely on if you needed extra groceries for the week. So unless you get your politicians out there to change the rules, we're kind of stuck. So each state has like a certain amount that they might be able to loan per ticket. So if, say the amount was like $1,480, but you had a piece of jewelry, you say it's worth 5,000. Well, I mean, the pawn shop really does want to loan you the most they can, because that's in their best interest, because you're going to pay the interest back and you repeat business. But the regulations keep you from loaning so much per ticket. So unless you could have multiple items and you put different items per ticket to reach you that goal, you're kind of in a dilemma, because you sure don't want to cut your ring or your necklace in half. So if you were all of a sudden in shock of why that value isn't low, what that pawn shop was offering, that might be one of the reasons. Another reason is they don't want to loan you too much, and it's not that you can't afford to get it back. It's just because of once again, the interest rate that the state requires is a lot of money. So for instance, if you were to pawn a DVD player for $20, that's basically in some states like $4 a month interest. And if you came back 3 months later, you owe that $32 to get your DVD player back. But at your local Walmart, that DVD player is $25 new. They're getting cheaper and cheaper. So there wouldn't be an incentive for you to pick it back up. You would lose your merchandise, or you could just go buy it new, and then it looks on your, they look at your history on the computer, and it shows that you're not picking your stuff up, and then once again, you don't have that merchandise to loan and get loans. And pawn shops, they want your business. They want the customer happy. They want them to come back. But if you don't have that merchandise, you can't come back. So they try to loan you the most they can, but at a fair enough amount. That way, the interest is low, where you'll come and pick it back up. So say if they maybe only loaned you $15, which is $3 a month, that's still, the 9 and the 15, you're still looking at $24. That's barely under the $25 amount at Walmart. So that's why sometimes you see DVD players loans are only 10. But if you establish good business with your pawn shop and you always pick your stuff up, those pawn shops will even do more. Who's to say they won't loan you $20, $30, or even $50 on a DVD player, because they know you always pick up your merchandise and you're always honest, you're always coming back, and they want your business. They can trust you. So sometimes on some merchandise, you might think it's low, but the reason is because the interest is so high, they're scared that you might not be able to pay it back, come back and pay it, because you can go buy it new. So until they can change those interest rates, that's kind of the basis of it. And then also, some things don't sell in other states. Some states don't sell snowmobiles down in New Mexico. So, they can't loan big money on stuff like that. But if you were near a refinery and you had like a scalpel ranch or something, and they sell like hotcakes, then they're going to give you premium dollar for it, because as soon as if you don't come back for it and they put it on the shelf, it's going to sell. So that's why at some pawn shops you might get a higher loan for certain merchandise and other ones you don't. Some sides of different cities might have lots of bikes because they sell lots of bikes easy. Other cities, nobody around town rides a bike. It's just have to think that and take that in consideration. But if you always do repeat business and always pick your stuff up, no matter what they loan you, I mean, there's going to come a time they're going to loan you money on, say, a Coke bottle or something, a paperback book that they normally wouldn't take, because they're going to help you out. They know that you're going to always pick it up. So that's kind of the basis of it. I mean, now with online sales, if you didn't come back, then they might be able to start loaning more on certain items. But then it's a give and take of studying and knowing that it's going to be a guaranteed seller somewhere in the United States, that they can get their money back for it and not take a loss. So like I said, they really do want your business, and they want you to get the most money that you need. They want to give you whatever amount you need, but sometimes they just can't do it without the interest rates being too much, and you can just go buy it new than buying it back. So that might be the reason it's a little lower. Other than that, you establish business and it will go up. So be sure to check out my other videos where we're going to talk about budgeting, money, other loans, and other crazy things that happen at the pawn shop over my 30 years of working in different pawn shops. And I'm sure you got any questions, just be sure to subscribe and message me, and I'll be sure to try to answer all your questions. Appreciate you for watching. Until next time on Pawn Life, see you soon.